6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother. What we do here is go back.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to another live chat. I'm Steven Jensen, that's Jessi Davin, and we're going to be talking about Raw and all the upcoming stuff with wrestling and whatever else you guys want to talk about. So make sure to join the chat. Let us know what you think about last night's show. Let us know what you think about WWE in general, pro wrestling in general. Before we get into all that stuff, Jessi, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Busy day. Prepping. Doomsday prepping. Just kidding. Just for hurricane season, which could be a doomsday scenario sometimes if you think about it. Been busy doing that. Everyone, if you live near the ocean, now's the time to get prepared, especially with Miss Rona causing a lot of problems. Start prepping now. Start getting ready. Do it now. Be safe. But yeah, that's what I've been doing today, and picked up my daughter from preschool. She's doing good. She's sitting here. If you hear an iPad, that's hers, so forgive me. But yeah, how are you doing today? We didn't even get to talk.
I know, we had to jump right on here today.
Yeah.
Usually me and Jessi catch up for a half hour to an hour before we go live, but today we're both busy actually, because what you just mentioned, and today I woke up and my dad came over and we hung up. So because I'm running out of space in my office for autographs and action figures and whatnot, my birthday is coming up. My dad bought me
Happy early birthday.
thank you. It's on Friday, so don't know if I'll watch it before then or not, but they're these really nice they're baseball bat cases for display cases.
That's right. You're gonna get those.
And he got me 3 of them with the glass in front of it and stuff. It's nice.
Nice.
So I got 3 of them up over my windows. So we put those up today when I woke up, and I'm just filling them up with Funko Pops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have so much stuff coming in this week and stuff that's already started coming in. Like I know we talked about it on the last podcast, but like just been ordering so much stuff and just like reaching out to people just like for stuff I want for my office and whatnot. And so I did that, and then I went and boxed for about 45 minutes with my brother. And then I got a little work done from on point, and now I'm here. So I was actually really busy too. So I just finished what I was doing right when you finished. So like it worked. The timing worked out really good today.
Oh, good. Yay. I love when that happens.
Yeah, for sure. Gel, I don't know why you're asking what Gordon Ramsay's favorite wrestling show is. I don't know if that's like a.
Oh, get it? It's fucking Raw.
I see the joke.
That's a cute one. I like it. I love Gordon Ramsay. I did his master class. It was very informative. I learned how to completely dismantle a salmon.
Nice. Yeah.
Don't know if I'll ever buy a whole salmon, but I know how to get the meat out of it.
That's what I'm eating on my birthday. That's like my favorite food.
Ooh, yes. So good.
It's funny you mentioned, we're talking about like Gordon Ramsay, and I'm just mentioning the stuff in my office. One of the things I have, it's actually behind my TV. You can't see, or behind my monitor. You can't see it obviously from here, but it's a Guy Fieri autograph photo.
No!
Yeah, I love that dude.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop it! I'm so jealous. No, I do
Show it
believe
you.
it. I do believe it. I'm jealous.
It's right here.
Oh,
It's in the red. That's like an actual signature in the red. Yeah.
I'm
Flavor Town, baby.
I'm shook. You've been blessed by the Flavortown mayor.
Yeah, he's the man. My
He is the man. I love him.
I'm trying to get this straight on my wall now. Yeah, it's good. My
Yes.
my parents actually years ago. So my stepmom is like a vice president for U.S. Bank, and
Oh, nice.
they do like these like big, annual awards or get-togethers or whatever. And years back, it's probably already like 10 years or so ago, but Guy Fieri came. That's actually where the autograph is from. Guy Fieri came and cooked like a personal dinner for like it was just like a table of people, and he like ate with like my dad and my stepmom and like met him, and they took pictures.
I'm so jealous.
My dad took the menu, like the menu he had on the table. My dad just like took it with him, like as like
Yeah.
a souvenir. So
I do it too. I'd swipe everything. I'd swipe the salt. I'd swipe the napkins.
it's funny, dude. I'm telling you, I've been a lot of this stuff. I'd love to show kind of some of the stuff I've been getting, but like a lot of it's like displayed now to where like it would be.
Yeah, you don't want to touch it.
Like,
Yeah.
But like some of the stuff, like I'm not giving this stuff away. Obviously, we give away 8x10s, like autographs and stuff on the show sometimes. These are for me. Got this the other day. So
Oh my God! Like I love his signature. It's so half-assed.
I know.
Great.
It's funny because that's kind of how I sign. Also, I sign
Really?
S and a J. So like, I respect it. But
I respect it too.
my wall soon. And then I got to give a huge shout out to Scotty Riggs. So I interviewed this dude on my.
Oh, sup, Steven.
Sup, Steven? But I talk to him almost every weekend because he's a big UFC fan, and we like do our fight predictions together. And I've been like talking to him for years, and I just like hit him up the other day and was like, "Hey, dude, I'm like filling up my office with autographs and stuff. Like, if you want to send me a signed 8x10, I'll definitely put it up."
That's great.
I offered him money for it, and he was like, "No, bro, I got you," and like mailed me 2 signed 8x10s. So, and it's great because I have a Buff Bagwell autograph 8x10 that I got when I was a kid, so I can put him and Riggs next to each other. American male,
That's
live on in my
great.
apartment. So, looking forward to that.
I think I want to say
You want to say hi? Yeah. Oh, you got cupcake mouth.
Boom! Hey, Scarlett.
Hi. We're in an axe throwing competition.
What are we going to do?
Throw axes.
I have to access. Pew.
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 Cool. All right, watch out with those.
It
Hey,
looks
can
so
you go
funny with those guys behind you.
I know. I'm like, watch out. Oh yeah, cool. All right, go back and play. You're being so good. I appreciate it so much.
Andrew
Thanks.
Barker, I see you. Hi. He says hi.
Hi.
I say hi back.
Yes, I was saying hi, so to everyone, hi. Remember, you don't have to, obviously, but super chats are much appreciated. We usually get pretty much demonetized because we use a lot of choice words.
I'll
So
just
the
save
super
everyone
chats-
the fuck, ass, balls. There you go. We're demonetized, so now we don't have to worry about it the rest of the show.
Yes. So those really do help us out. They kind of make up for the ad revenue that we're missing out on. So that is really appreciated. No pressure, but it is really appreciated. What the heck was that? I got a whoop whoop. That was weird. It sent me my own picture that I sent you of the screenshot of the creepy thing.
Oh, for real?
I'm spooked.
You just got Skype sent you a message?
Yeah, it was my screen that I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, okay, I was doing some conspiracy stuff, but earlier, and I searched a term that you're not supposed to search, apparently, according to this conspiracy. And I was sending him the picture that happened, and it just sent back to me. I'm spooked.
Yeah.
I'm spooked.
Especially because it was something you weren't supposed to search. So like,
Yeah.
who knows what's in your
Oh
computer now?
no! I know. I'm scared. Anyways, let's try and just pretend like that didn't just happen.
Well, I don't know what you really want to talk about today other than like Raw. I don't know if there's really anything else really going on.
Well, I do want to send my thoughts and condolences to the family of Larry and to the families of Shad. Obviously, some really sad, tragic stuff happened yesterday. Really tough day. Really tough day. So I just wanted to start out with that kind of condolence.
Yeah, both sad, obviously, and the Shad thing is so nuts. Like that's so random. Like, I mean, it's incredibly admirable, obviously, that he saved his son in the process.
Right.
Like that's I mean, but the whole situation just so sad. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how else to really think about it. Obviously, we hope that they find him, but like, I can't imagine it's a good, but I know like they stopped like looking for him and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
it's so sad, and as a parent, I just have to commend him for saving his son. I feel like as a parent,
I didn't put that on.
Good. I feel like as a parent, that's what we all hope and pray that we will do in a situation like that. And I really think it speaks to his character and what a fantastic human being that he is for him to instinctively save his son first. And I think that that's such a heroic move. And his family's in my thoughts. I just can't even imagine going to the beach and then not coming back. I think it's absolutely tragic. I just can't imagine. I did see my phone is about to run out of battery, but 411 Mania, Larry, they did start a GoFundMe for him. I'm gonna donate to it after we get off of this. So I will share it on Twitter right now. Yeah, that's also a very sad situation. One of the greatest wrestling reporters ever. So even Dave Meltzer was sad. So that really tells you what's going on. So super sad.
Yeah. Just pile on to 2020.
2020 is taking no prisoners. So make sure you always let people know that you love them and that you appreciate them, and just don't hold any grudges. Try to make amends while you can. Just not just because of 2020, but just in general in life. Just try to live with peace and just be kind and let people know how much you appreciate them. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you, Steven. Not that I plan on going anywhere anytime soon, but this has been super fun all the time, and I don't want it to stop anytime soon. So that was really sad. Should we talk about axe throwing?
Yeah. I appreciate you also, Jesse, and I appreciate everyone in the chat. Everyone, yeah, it's a bummer. We'll definitely get to Raw. I'm gonna pull up. I can't find JTG on Twitter. I saw you tweeted like their last text message from a couple months ago. I don't know what JTG's handle is. I'm trying to find the tweet here. And I'll put it on the screen.
Okay, yeah.
It is. So apparently, and it's real strange. Like I'm just gonna bring this up. So when you look at this tweet, right? And this I don't care about. I'll talk about that in a second. But like this looks incredibly photoshopped. The Die Tomorrow part.
Yeah, it does.
Like, is that just how? Are there certain phones? Someone let me know. Are there certain phones that do that? Like
on an iPhone, I know that if you do like tomorrow or today at 3 or something like that, it'll underscore it. But that's incredibly photoshopped.
That's what it looks like, right? JTG tweeted this out, and this was apparently their last text message, and I believe this happened like right after the Kobe thing. So I think like the idea was that Shad had texted JTG saying, if ever I die tomorrow, just know I love you as a brother and a friend forever, even past this life. And then JTG responded, love you too, brother, #no homo. I saw people online like complaining about that, like it's just how people talk. Like don't.
I think that was just a lighthearted kind of way to kind of lighten the situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's wrong to say you love someone. I use that term very like liberally because I do have a lot of love in my heart. But I don't know. I don't know what kind of phone that is. It does look kind of weird, but I do know like on an iPhone it does underscore it. But I mean
I hope it's the real message. I mean, like this would be great if this was like their last exchange. But obviously the bigger point, I guess, is that JTG and Shad had like stayed friends all these years too, which got a feel for him. Like that's like
oh man, it's just awful.
Corwin says it looks like from an app. Yeah, I agree. I just don't know what app. Like I've never seen a message sent where like those are what the messages look like. So that's why I'm not accusing anyone of anything.
No, yeah.
It just looks strange.
Maybe it said something different and he wanted to censor it. Either way, it's very sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's when 2020 really started to go downhill, was when Kobe's accident happened. I mean, that's kind of like the catalyst, I feel.
That was like the first big...
That was the first. That's what really, that shook me to my core. It really did. I called my dad and I just kept saying, this is unreal. This is shocking. Like, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, so just appreciate every day.
It's so weird to think about the Kobe one, especially with every episode of The Last Dance, like that Jordan documentary, which was fantastic.
It was.
And there was the episode where Kobe was on, I think it was like the third or fourth episode or something where he was on and like, because obviously he took a lot of inspiration from Michael Jordan and stuff like that. And watching that, it was like, I had to keep like telling myself like, that guy's actually not like
he's not here.
Kobe Bryant still. I still don't like. It takes me a minute to realize like, oh my god, he died earlier this year. Like it's weird.
It's one of those things where it put into perspective that no matter how strong you are, no matter how famous you are, no matter how historical you are, no one is immune. No one is immortal to tragedy, to horror, to sudden horrific accidents. No one's immune. No matter how strong you are, no matter how legendary you are, everybody is mortal, and everybody is. I mean, the end chapter. There's no spoilers. I mean, that's what happens to everyone, and it definitely was kind of like a whoa. Because you think he's Kobe Bryant. He's legendary. Like, of all people, like for him, it was like, wow, it's just like no one is safe from the end game, basically.
Well, yeah, and especially the way he died, because like I hate flying, like just in general, but like,
Helicopters freak me out.
well, it's crazy because like, Kobe, obviously he had all the money in the world, so like he had the best helicopter, and like I'm sure he had like the best pilot. I've heard things about them maybe like that it may not have been fueled properly, and that was like part of the problem. But like, you would imagine a guy a guy like Kobe Bryant would have the best, like it would be the least likely,
Right.
like a percentage chance for like of somebody to die in a helicopter crash. Like I feel like I'd be way more likely, because like,
Yeah.
because I'm just like an everyday guy. I'm just getting on someone's airplane. I don't have a whole bunch of money or anything like that. Kobe, had the best of the best of the best for everything, and so like the
Yeah.
had to have been just so insanely slim for that to happen.
I know, I think of, those, you used to I used to like work on iDrive, right? That helicopter
Yeah.
tours.
Yeah.
Like my husband's always like, I want to do those. I'm like, nope, nope. And now, like, I feel like it would happen to me on one of those.
Yeah.
Not to Kobe Bryant on his state-of-the-art helicopter, but I mean, man, just heartbreaking, and just this year is just really, I guess the lighter term for it would be humbling.
Yeah.
But looks like, by the way, this is kind of completely unrelated, but H3H3 just put out a new video called Content Nuke about Keemstar. So I think it's a play on Content Cop.
Oh, no way.
Yes, he
We'll
teased.
see you on the next episode of this podcast.
I bet people are going to jump from this, but I
Holy
just got a
shit,
notification.
no way. Thank you so much
Yes.
for telling me that. I'm jumping on his, I'm not showing it on the screen because I don't, obviously he's like the guy who got all the, like,
Hey, what up, peeps? It's your boy
the
Ethan
Fupa
from
Fund and all
H3.
that. But, sorry, I didn't mean to play that. Let's see. Recent upload. Is it on, it's on his main channel?
It's on the H3H3 one.
I don't see it on my YouTube yet. The last one I've got is the Everybody Hates Ethan, which was that Muda dude.
It says H3H3 Productions, Content Nuke Keemstar. I got the notification on my phone, too.
What the heck? Is my computer just slow?
Let me click on it.
Oh yeah, 1 minute ago. It just.
Hey man.
I can see it.
Oh
now.
my gosh.
Oh, and it's 46 minutes long.
We're both like, yes.
Oh. Yes.
Oh,
That's what
no.
the fuck I'm talking about. For those of you who are watching this and have no idea why we're excited, I can't really explain it, but like, balls deep in YouTube culture. Like, I'm like,
Yes, we both of us are.
oh, it's the best. No, I know you are too. That's why it's so great that we can.
Yes.
Because I usually can't even talk about most of this stuff to anybody because nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yes.
Um,
I'm so excited.
Holy shit, I'm gonna fucking give that a thumbs up before I even watch it. By the way, for those of you watching this podcast right now on YouTube, thumbs up helps the algorithm a lot. So it kind of helps people find the podcast. And obviously, we can get more wrestling fans involved in our chat and stuff like that. So those thumbs up help a lot. And obviously, it's like, doesn't cost you anything and it takes like half a second just to hit that thumbs up. So we all
Smash that like.
that. Yeah, smash that like. Oh my god, Content Nuke Keemstar. I gotta get off this page. I started like scrolling through and I'm like, I can't spoil this at all for myself. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Ooh, because he's the best one to go. I mean, because
He is. I've been waiting for that.
like, how do you beat Content Cop though? Like, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. I wonder if Ian's in it.
That's why I was like scrolling through, but like that's why I was like, I'm not gonna keep looking because I didn't see him on there, but like I feel like, I mean, there's no way that
He's there. He has to
wants
be.
to see Filthy
I bet he's
Frank
in at
so
the
bad.
end. Yes.
Huh? But
Oh.
the most OG move ever right now would be if Joji popped up as Filthy Frank in a video. It was just like, fuck it, I don't even care if you like. I don't.
It'd be the greatest video of all time.
That'd be the best. That'd be the best.
Oh man.
Man, He needs to put out another Pink Eye album. Is what he needs to do.
Yes, he does. Well, now he's been canceled, so.
No, that's why I think it'd be so great.
Yeah,
Just combat
just to
being
stick it to
canceled
the
by just
haters.
like blowing up again.
I think he could. He should utilize it. He should utilize his new. All these younger kids are just discovering Filthy Frank and Pink Eye, and
Oh my gosh.
oh my god, my Twitter won't load. What the hell?
Oh, well, at least I know what I'm doing today. This is great. So we got a 46-minute H3 video. Later tonight is the Owen Hart Dark Side. That's
That's oh my gosh. Oh my god, there's so much tea to be spilled tonight.
it's gonna be it's gonna be good.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna be fun.
There was something else that totally random, but also my brother came across a YouTube documentary that I'm gonna check out. It's about the Amazing Jonathan. I don't know if you know who that is, but the Amazing Jonathan is like he's a magician / comedian in Las Vegas, and he's like he's like not a good he's like a decent magician, but like he's more of a comedian than a magician. And he's been around like forever, but I saw him live in Las Vegas years back and like laughed my ass off so hard at this dude that I was like such a big fan. So I'm gonna check that out as well. Like it's a good time right now. Like if you guys haven't watched the Jordan doc, I would recommend watching that.
Yeah.
Thing. The Undertaker doc so far has been really good. Like this has been. I mean, as shitty as the times are, they have been putting out a lot of good shit for me to watch, I guess.
Yes, there is a lot of good content, which I'm grateful for right now.
Yeah, for sure. That
Dude, I'm so excited for that content nuke.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That's like I'm gonna literally like after this podcast, I'm gonna shower because I still haven't done that since boxing.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I've worked out my Roman Reigns shirt and I just left it on.
Bow bow, bow bow.
Yeah.
Big dog, big dog.
What's that look like?
Oh, that is such a thing. Like he knows what he's doing.
It's great. Yeah, the ultimate troll.
Yes, he is.
Roman Reigns. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna shower after this, and then I gotta do like a little bit of quick work for MMA on Point, and then I'm definitely watching that H3 video right after.
Me too.
That is.
I have
Ooh.
I have a friend that's very significant in the YouTube community. I think you know who it is. That I'm anxious to hear their opinion on it. So
I'm trying to think of who you're talking about.
I'll message you.
Did you friends with this person already?
I think so. I don't know.
Let's see.
Uh,
I'll share my screen. Just
no.
rat you out. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. Oh yeah, I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
I'm very anxious
I forgot
to
about
see
that.
my friend's opinion on this. So
Ooh, it's exciting.
I know.
Exciting. Well, I guess we should talk a little about pro wrestling for a little.
Yeah.
I know I just mentioned the Dark Side. By the way, are you gonna watch that tonight? Because I will definitely talk
yes.
about that on the next show.
Yes, I want to. I'll watch it tonight for sure. Is it on
Awesome.
YouTube?
Vice. So.
Vice. Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, for those of you
I've been
watching
watching on YouTube.
well, they've been putting the episodes on YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I've been watching it on YouTube.
And then other people are usually pretty quick to re-upload them.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
really, they put them up pretty quick on YouTube. Then they get taken down pretty quick too. But then
Good.
puts them up themselves.
Is anyone in the chat gonna be watching the Owen Hart thing? I want to know. I want to know. And
Corey Williams asked, "Have you guys seen this CZ?"
oh, I have not. I saw something vaguely, quickly about someone using someone's trademark or something. That's about it.
All I had seen about it, this was like last night or this morning. I can't remember, but like, I saw something. I saw Jordan Grace was attached to what had happened. There were some other wrestlers too. I think Lufisto was one of them. But from what I understand, I could be totally wrong, but from what I understand, something happened where like the people who own CZW and were broadcasting CZW were marketing the female wrestling as softcore porn instead of.
Oh no.
I think someone in the chat let me know what's going on with all that. I have not looked that much into it, but when I saw Jordan Grace's name, like CZW and stuff, I was like, because I'm a big Jordan Grace fan. I was like, oh, well, like Jordan Grace lawsuit, CZW, like, wait, what? What is this? And then I just didn't have time to look that into it. But I that's the gist of what I got out of it was that.
Wow, that's. Ooh.
Which I'm curious though, because how did they do that? Were they like putting out commercials with like insinuating that women were going to be like hooking up on the show, or like were they?
Corey says you're spot on.
I'm spot on. So, but was there things filmed where the female wrestlers were hooking up and stuff, and like it just ever go anywhere, and it
let me look.
I don't understand.
Let me do some research.
But these are the questions that need to be asked, because it's like, were they? Because it's one thing, it's still shitty, but it's one thing to like put out a commercial where it's like these hot women and they're like getting close to each other and stuff, and you're kind of thinking to yourself like, ooh, this could be, wonder what's going on here, versus like if they actually like had porn like that they aired. Like I don't know what actually happened. Okay, here we go. Gel with a long response here. So CZW says they made a deal with Stonecutter Media. That was the group that I had seen, Stonecutter Media, to re-release their shows under new titles that sound like softcore porn, such as CZW Girls, All Assets Revealed, CZW Girls, Top, Heavy, and Tough. I mean, that's shitty, but that's not a good look. You shouldn't do that, but
not in 2020. No, I mean, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to trick people, but
yeah,
I feel like the talent needs to agree. I feel like if you go, hey man, we're gonna just really try and sell a bunch of these DVDs by pretending that they're gonna get some TNA, but oops, not like that. T and A. But they're not. Is that cool with you? I'm telling you, just ask. Like, literally, that should be the number one advice for running a business and not getting canceled 101. Just ask. Like.
Well, who's in the? We need to know who's in the wrong here, because the company's not. The company's not going to ask the talent what to name their show. They don't give a fuck what the talent thinks the name of the show. But like. It is if Stonecutter Media owns the CZW trademark, like Gel is saying, which is what I understand as well. If Stonecutter Media is making that call, that's one thing. If Combat Zone Wrestling is making that call, it's a completely different thing. Because like,
it seems like
would be at fault, not CZW.
It seems like Kimberly said at the official statement that CZW wrote was 2 years ago, CZW entered into a licensing agreement with National Media Distributor to license CZW and WSU footage. That company has the right to utilize the footage without limitation. They've repackaged and renamed shows as it is their right to do so. Our athletes, regardless of gender, are just that, athletes whom we are proud of and appreciate. We stand behind the ring action in all our footage. Hold on a second. Our athletes, regardless of gender, are just that, athletes. Not a good look. And so.
Wait, hold on. Why is that not a good look? To say that.
They're just athletes.
Well, but in comparison to porn stars is what
That's true.
Like they're just athletes. They're not porn.
Yeah, that's true.
Depends on the context of that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But Kimberly says, and I'm certain I never signed an agreement giving you the right to sell my intellectual property, nor did any of the women you're blatantly disrespecting. Or how about you told us all you wouldn't book us if you wouldn't F us?
Well, see, that's different. That's a completely different problem.
It's about time the harassment gets exposed.
Okay, so if there's a side of that going on, I could see that being a very, very, very big problem. But I mean, naming the show CZW Girls All Assets Revealed, yeah, it's misleading, but like it's just a shitty thing to do. Like if they were trying to exchange sexual favors for bookings, then that's basically rape. I mean
Yeah,
that's a reason
that's
to cancel
extortion.
somebody. Yeah. And I'm not saying the titling thing is good. I'm just saying like I've seen worse things in wrestling than somebody make a shitty name for a show. Like,
Yeah.
especially in like, I mean, ECW sold sex all fucking day. Like, it was cat fights and women rolling around. It was in the commercials, and it was they basically made people think that they were tuning into soft because it kind of almost was softcore porn in ECW, to be honest. So like I've seen that in wrestling before. Once again, I don't like this, but if they were like if the booking exchange was contingent on sex and stuff, that's
horrible.
That's huge.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I gotta go. My daughter is getting into things. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. So Corey Williams is saying those stories are coming out of the woodwork, sort of like what happened to Tessa, where it's all coming out at once. Yeah, that seems to be kind of the trend of how it all goes in all these scenarios. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but the unfortunate thing is that we all have to keep in mind because I firmly believe in being innocent until proven guilty. I think everybody has that right. Everybody should have that human right of like until it's proven you were guilty. I cannot treat you as a guilty person. It has to be proven to me. And there's a lot when these kind of things happen. A lot of people come out of the woodwork. A lot of them have legitimate reasons to come out of the woodwork because they have been wronged or something has happened to them to where their voice needs to be heard and they need to speak out and that has to happen and hopefully those people get the justice that they deserve. But at the same time, it's also a very easy way for people who are not involved in this that just don't like something to jump in and like so we don't know what's true and what isn't until I got to see some proof of like what happened. But like if there's like 10, 20 female wrestlers or whatever who all have like the same story about CZW or whatever, like then I'm like, oh okay, this is legitimate. If it's one person, there's still like it could still 1,000,000% be a legitimate claim if it's just one person. But I can't call that other person guilty if it's just one-on-one until like both stories are out there and like I know what has happened.
I completely agree. I think I was listening, obviously, because I can hear. It's not that we don't believe one or the other. It's literally to save our asses, because, like, I'm reading these and I'm like, I mean, I guess you could see my face in on the screen. I was just like shocked. I was like reading all these stories and it really. I saw someone say that they were blackballed by a bunch of companies because they wouldn't sleep with the people to get booked. She worked for both companies. I mean, that's horrible. A lot of these stories are coming out.
Do you know who said that?
Yeah. Nevaeh.
Okay, I'm not sure who that is.
She's got she's got a check mark. She's Guardian, half of the Guardians of the Rise Tag Team Champions. She's wrestled for both CZW and W. Her thing is Nevaeh Heaven backwards, OI4K.
Interesting.
Yeah. Obviously, hearing these is like horrific, and I don't want to discredit them, but I can't. Like I mean, I support them, and I'm so sorry, that they're coming out and saying that these things happened. I think that's not cool. However, we just to save our asses from being like sued, we have to go with what the facts are and make sure that we get everything right before we can like really form like an opinion publicly about it. Obviously, as a woman who's been sexually assaulted, I feel for these women, and I'm so sorry that this happened, and I know that the fear of coming out and admitting what's happened to you, with that comes a lot of people speculating and calling you names, and it's really scary. I don't even really talk about what I went through just because of that. So it really sucks, and I really hope that if this is true, that they're held accountable, and that, or CZW is held accountable, I should say, if these allegations are true. And I really hope that legal action is taken as well. I feel like they deserve justice. And if these are, in some situation, if these aren't true, that CZW gets their day in court as well. Like, but it's nothing to joke around about, and it's nothing to take lightly. I think it's something that should be taken extremely serious.
Yeah, and once again, it has to be, like, I can't say it enough, like, there, and once again, just because I don't know at this point, like, there could very well be a distinction. Now, once again, like Corey Williams is saying, Joey Janela commented on it also. Did he comment on Twitter? Because I'll try to find him tweeting about it.
I'm sure it was on Twitter.
Probably. But, like, because there has to be also, like, that separation of, like, what did CZW do and what did Stonecutter Media do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if, you know what I mean? Like, it.
I feel like that was the catalyst for all of this to come out. That's what it seems like to me.
Yeah. I just feel like I need to. There has to be distinction on those things too, because I don't want to like cancel CZW. Like if it fucking like if they had nothing to do with this and it was Stonecutter Media, because like if I sold the rights to like my name to somebody and then like used my, I mean I wouldn't want. It's probably not a good idea to do to begin with, but like if I sold like the rights to the term Fight Talk to somebody, and they gave me a lot of money and they were like, oh yeah, like so now we can do whatever we want with the words Fight Talk, and then they were like Fight Talk. I don't know. Does Fight Talk murder somebody and puts it on YouTube? Like the title of that, or you know what I mean? Like they could use it however they wanted to, and I'm like, yo, like no, I never did that. Like now you're in the situation where like people wouldn't hate, you know what I mean? People would have no hate me because I didn't do anything. But like I made the mistake of another probably good example way back in the day, if I remember correctly. I don't want to be wrong about this, but someone in the chat will definitely let us know. Ring of Honor. The guy who founded Ring of Honor, I'm pretty sure, wound up being like a pedophile and like in a whole bunch of fucking trouble. But like the company was okay because like he
was not
cut him, like didn't distance himself from him. I hope I'm not wrong about that. I hope I didn't just make that up, but it was something like that where like one of the owners did some fucked up stuff. And but the reason I bring that up is because like, that was one dude. That wasn't Ring of Honor. That was one fucking guy who they severed ties with and moved on, you know? So I just don't know where things sit with, like, CZW. If this was, like, one person within CZW, or if it was, like, the whole company, or, like, somebody using the CZW trademark, or I just don't know.
I think it's important, and I think it's also a learning lesson for these companies to realize that if you do sell the rights to like your media and sell the rights to like your name to be used by another company, you need to come out with a statement and say, we've, sold our brand, our trademark to said company. Please be advised that anything that they say now is not reflective of our opinions. It's just theirs, but they're using our trademark now. Like, you need to say that. You need to make it clear. Like, I know, like, sometimes, like, makeup brands will sell, like, smaller makeup brands will sell their brands to bigger companies, and then their product turns to crap. These people come after them, and they're like, whoa, I didn't do anything. I sold my company for a gajillion dollars to Estee Lauder or whatever. And then, if there's a company where the CEO gets arrested for doing something really stupid, I think the best thing to do is to fire the CEO and say this man or woman does not reflect the values of our company, and to cut ties and to move on. You have to do that. So I don't know if this is like a group effort on CZW, if these claims are true, or if it's just a sole party or parties. But if CZW wants to stay in business and stay afloat, then they need to have a vast rebranding and a configuration of the leaders, the people that run the business, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot to unpack.
Whew. Yeah, man, this is I feel like there's such a heaviness in my heart right now. Like just with all the sad losses and like the this whole thing coming out, it's like, man, like the dark side of the ring is truly being exposed for sure.
Yeah. I'm curious about the Ring of Honor thing I was talking about now because
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah.
well, I don't want to say his name out loud, but like everyone knows what I'm talking about if you were around back then. I'm curious to see what he's really done lately, or if he's been in jail. Because I remember, I know the guy's name. I think, I don't know if he ever got in trouble for it, or if it was just like strong rumors. Because I searched his name, and there's message boards about like the.
Was this recent?
No, this was years ago.
Okay. Something recently kind of along the same lines happened. I don't think it was Ring of
Yeah,
Honor.
within the WWE.
WWE-ish, yeah.
Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that happened, and we haven't heard anything since then about any of it. Like, it was this big, humongous, like, cancel this guy's story, and, like, I'm not saying he didn't do it, but, like, he's been on TV since then, and there's been nothing else about it.
Yeah. So, jeez.
Yeah.
Man, this is... I think
okay, so Gel said his name. That's what I was talking about, Rob Feinstein. Well, there it is.
Oh, man.
See, that's,
God.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Was that scenario?
Yeah, that's bad.
And Ring of Honor distanced themselves from him, and like, you know what I mean? I think in today's society, everyone would have just tried to cancel Ring of Honor, but like the right thing to do is like find out who that works there is the one.
Well, who knew?
Well, that's the thing. Like nobody's hiring. Like, if you hire somebody to work for you, they're never gonna tell you in like a job interview, like, yeah, I have like tendencies to do these things, or like I think about like murdering people, or like whatever. Like, you can't blame the fucking companies in a lot of these cases because they don't know these people are fucked up. Why?
Unless they have a record. You can't. And
right. That's on the company if they have a record and they're not.
Yeah.
Into it. Yeah.
I mean, you look at like serial killers and stuff. Like everyone's like, oh, I had no idea. They just seemed like the most normal person, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you have to. I mean, it's scary. It's definitely something you can learn from to, you know, keep your guard always, no matter how much you trust someone or how much you think you know someone. But to cancel an entire company because of one person, I don't think so. Unless, like you said, there's like evidence and they're sweeping it under the rug, conspiracy style.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it was like a
group effort
scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like that was a whole system built around keeping everything quiet, and like a ton of people knew about it. That's a problem, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you want to talk about Raw a little bit?
Yeah, I guess we should. Unless anyone wants to super chat their like opinions on this or their comments on this, we'll definitely stop what we're doing and talk about that. But I feel like maybe we should talk a little bit about Raw since that it's in the title.
So I'll pull this up here. I watched the majority of the show on mute. So there are things that I've definitely missed, but and we'll talk about. I guess I'll bring it up now because it probably ties into the beginning of the show. But like, I loved seeing Austin Theory join up with Rollins and Murphy.
Yes, I loved that. And I you know what I also loved too? Like Zelina Vega as like a manager, but also like an alpha leader of this like wolf pack. Like she's the alpha of this wolf pack. Like they are fighting for supremacy. Like it's some next level, like, it reminds me, I feel bad, but it reminds me of like dog fighting. Like, you know, like we want the best one to win, you know, so we can go make our horrible, terrible blood money, you know. But that's what it like reminds me of, like this no holds barred mentality, survival of the fittest kind of thing. Like Andrade whooped on him, wasn't it Andrade? and they just whooped on him and shunned him from the group. And then
Well,
Seth
that was what I
Rollins-
was going to ask, because I loved that he joined with Seth Rollins, but I missed the beginning of the show. So
Yes.
that's what happened. That's why
He lost.
like-
Yes, he lost, and bless you, he lost, and they just went off on him. And Selena's just going, yeah, like looking like that with her high heels, being all cool, like a boss bitch. Yes, and then obviously Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy come and save him. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was like one of the best parts of Raw, probably the best part of Raw. Like, just so cool. This whole dynamic they've got going on with these like packs. They're not even like groups. They're like packs. It's great.
Yeah, I like it. I like
It
the
reminds
pairing.
me. It's very Attitude Era. Sorry.
Yeah, they had what they used to call what, gang warfare, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that the pairing makes a lot of sense, because I've been saying for weeks on this show that since AOP has been injured, I could see that like that group following along with Rollins, like those same guys, and I'm glad that he got one of them at least, because Austin Theory was always kind of the odd man out of that group.
Yeah.
In ways, and I'm not trying to be like racist or whatever, but like it's like a pretty much, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
it's like if you had like the LWO back in like the WCW days, and like Disco Inferno is in it. It's like, well, I mean, he's not really like Latin, but like,
Yeah.
and like, so he just never, and especially, and I will admit, I'm a bit, programming's a bit fucked because of all the WWE I've watched my entire life. So I'm like conditioned to think like the two black wrestlers who have nothing going on will get paired together, because that's what always happens. The two, like the lucha house party is like, it's just a mix of
Yeah.
the masked guys.
The luchas.
Yeah, so like, and like I said, it is a bit fucked up that I think that way, because I'm so conditioned to by watching the show for so long. But Austin
Yeah.
kind of never fit the group, and he definitely fits in with Murphy and Rollins.
Yes. Yes, I thought it was great. I tell you what, though, Seth Rollins cutting a promo at like 0.001 miles per hour. I think he started off the show. He's like, "Yes, we are here." I was like, "Dude, oh my God, hurry up, dude! Get to the point." Like, that was boring, but I get it. He was like giving off boring preacher vibes, like when you don't go to like the fun church, you go to like the Catholic church. And no offense to the Catholic Church, because I was baptized Catholic, so God, I'm sorry. But like them preachers sometimes, man, pastors, whatever, you know. So yeah, I thought it was great. I'm really interested to see where this dynamic goes, because I felt like the Messiah thing was kind of fizzling out because of WWE's weird 50-50 booking. But now this kind of gives it a new element, not to mention, you know, the news about Becky and everything, and that kind of, and I'm kind of happy they're not really mentioning it too much. Like, they're not rubbing it in your face. I'm kind of happy about that. Except for they kept showing over and over and over Becky's announcement, which is like, come on, guys. But it's like, come on, I'm getting emotional again. Stop it. But I do like that. I think it does kind of keep that element of like, because if you look at Seth and you go, oh yeah, he's gonna be a dad, it kind of takes away from that whole Messiah thing, doesn't it? So
yeah, it's hard to root against him.
Yeah. So I'm really interested to see where it goes. I'm really interested to see what happens now with Austin Theory. Yeah, in a little bit. You can say hi in a little bit, in a little bit, in a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it was like and also like, so I'm just like kind of going through here. I hate how WWE Network is actually doing this, because it's like, and I shouldn't even show that, but it's like playing a playlist of stuff where I'm just trying to like scroll through what was going on. But I'm a big fan of Humberto Carrillo, or how we say his name, Carrillo, in
Humberto Carrillo.
in the ring. And I was a big Hector Garza fan back in the day, so like, you know, he's related, really cool. Does honor to his I think it was his uncle was Hector Garza. Does honor to his uncle's legendary moonsault. But
Yeah.
he is trash on the microphone. He came out for his match with Murphy last night and cut a promo on the way down to the. It's like, this is so.
Yeah.
This guy sounds so cringe.
English. Hello.
She's speaking Spanish because she heard me say Humberto Carrillo.
Humberto Carrillo.
Hola.
Oh. Good job.
But I think it's just a matter of time before Carrillo joins with Zelina
Who?
and those guys.
Who?
Humberto. I think he's gonna.
Oh yeah.
With them.
Yeah.
He'll fill in the spot that Theory was in.
He needs a manager.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a speaking voice for him because
The time is up.
no.
Jonathan Fernandez just said it as well. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you, Jonathan. That's exactly
Yes.
where my head's at.
It's gonna be done.
What
No.
else we got? Jonathan also says Rollins has been cutting solid promos. They've been very solid promos. I agree. It's just without a crowd there, it's like it is more boring to listen to.
Yeah. It's so like lame.
What else do we have on this show? What you don't know about Liv Morgan. Watch that. What didn't I know about Liv Morgan?
I'm going to.
That something about her mom. Like her mom told her never give up. Her mom was so proud of her, and that she wants to be women's champion. So that was about it. That's the
Cool.
gist
Yeah.
of it.
So everyone's
Hey.
mom loves them, and everyone wants to do good at their job. Whoop-de-doo. Charlotte versus Ruby Riott. I didn't watch this either. But I did see that Charlotte's going to be wrestling Bayley in a champion versus match on SmackDown, so that's kind of interesting.
Oh yeah. Ruby Riott she got submitted in the figure 8. So
Was the match any good, or
it was alright. It was quick, but
Charlotte's always solid.
yeah, she's always solid. Ruby Riott's great too.
Yeah, she has a big fan base. I'm really not a huge fan of hers, but she's solid. But Charlotte's the queen. I'm okay with admitting that Charlotte. Everyone rides Charlotte hard, and like I'm okay with that. I think Charlotte's great.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
R-Truth and Bobby Lashley. I'm assuming Lashley squashed Truth in this one.
Yeah. I was outside watching some conspiracy videos, but I had it on the TV inside. So I saw R-Truth cut like a promo, and then yeah, it was pretty much a squash. No. Oh no, she just farted. Oh dear.
Every episode,
What do I have to get off?
like clockwork.
It was like a lap. Girl.
Shayna and Natalya. Oh, I saw
Oh my
this
god.
one. I was like, Shayna had Natalya in that rear naked choke for like way too long. Like Natalya
Yeah.
tapped out way earlier than.
I was like, Natalia's getting offense. What is happening?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. Like, I like how Shayna grapevined her arm back when she was trying to reach for the ropes. Like, that was cool, but like, there's certain moves where, especially for someone like me who does as much MMA as I do, like, I can't see somebody be put into a rear naked choke like that and like, and just like, that's not what.
That's not what.
Like that, it should be over. Like it's a few seconds. You either tap out, or you go out cold. Like that's, you don't fight through that. Anyways, so I didn't like that at all.
Sorry, Scarlett wanted me to send a heart. So if that's what you saw.
What can I have that?
Nia Jax takes out Kyrie Sane, so it should
That's
be
right.
back.
I thought Kyrie was gonna turn on Asuka. I really did. Did you see that where they threw like Kyrie threw Asuka like a little celebration? There was like about 700,000 balloons there.
Mm-hmm.
Then Nia Jax came out and just whooped on him, and I was like, ooh, let's not do that again, please.
Beats the shit out of her.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I was like, no, Kyrie, please don't turn heel. And then I was like, never mind, something worse happened.
Then we have the axe throw in your background there.
Oh my god. Hold on a second. Let me put this child down.
Yeah, so I actually watched this, which was it was stupid, but I guess it was better than the basketball one last week. I did think it was funny when Dawkins like threw the axe behind his head and like the throw was clearly awful and he like nailed the board and it was like it was almost so cheesy that it was actually kind of good. So I'll give them their credit there. Like I don't know. I think it's all going to be very cheesy. All these kind of skits are going to be very cheesy, but I think it was an improvement from last week, so I can't really knock it too hard.
My channel, and what do you want to do? What's your favorite cookie? What's your favorite cookie?
What's my favorite cookie?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Oreos.
He said Oreos.
Like as far as like in a
I
bag.
don't like Oreos.
Oreos are great. Or like homemade chocolate chip cookies. I like those a lot.
Do you want to? What's your favorite snowman?
My favorite
Snowman.
snowman. I don't know if I know any snowmen.
What's your favorite snowman?
I don't like snowman.
Ah, trick question. She doesn't like snowman.
Oh, she doesn't like any snowmen.
Baba, but she.
Was it Frosty? Was that the name of the snowman? It was like Frosty. It was like the snowman that came to life when we were kids or whatever.
So his favorite, my favorite is man.
Butt man.
Butt man.
Butt man.
Butt man.
Man. Butt man.
It's Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Butt man. Butt man.
All right, Scarlett. All right. We got to talk about something, okay? Can you blow a bubble in your mouth? Anyways, this axe throwing competition was whack.
How do that?
Awesome. It was whack. It went on way too long. It should have been just one segment, and I might have loved it. But the end when the cops show up and she calls him cute, I was so stoned that I started having a panic attack because I didn't know what the heck was happening. I thought it was so wild and crazy and unexpected. My heart was leaping out of my chest when she was like, and you're pretty cute. I was like, oh my God, what is happening? It was freaky.
What's your favorite snowman?
I kind of loved it. I also kind of hated it. I haven't decided. I think I loved it, but it gave me a panic attack.
What kind of snowman?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. I mean, yeah, stupid, but yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see what happens next week. I'm sure there'll be another chapter to the saga.
Yes.
Alexa, these matches, I just couldn't care less. So okay, was Alexa Bliss versus Nikki Cross, or sorry, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Iconics any good? How was that match? Anyone want to let me know? I didn't watch it.
It was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross won. It was meh. It was meh. And then Peyton Royce got slapped by Billy, and it had me shook. And then she apologized, and they hugged each other in tears because Billy had regretted it, but Peyton was laughing. And I don't know if that was just her not being able to like keep it together, or if it was her slowly turning heel. I'm not sure if it was a subtle heel move or just bad acting, but it was very interesting.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Great. I'm sure. I just couldn't care less to see the two of them wrestle each other. So, if that's where it's heading, that's whatever. Kevin Owens and Apollo Crews versus Andrade and Garza. Okay, well here's a match where I like all four of the contestants. This is good stuff. Like
I was so happy Kevin Owens was
Apollo
back.
Crews, huh?
I was so happy Kevin Owens was back.
Yeah, well, and he posted something on Twitter.
Yeah, he did.
I'm confused. But I didn't take it as him like leaving WWE at the time. To be honest, like I think it was like a 5-year anniversary type thing. So like,
I'm going and challenging John Cena. Yes.
Yeah. And it's good to see Apollo back, and you can tell that I know that he's going to be wrestling Andrade soon for the U.S. title. So
Yes.
Yeah, so good for Apollo.
We need like these mid-card title matches. I know that there's a tournament going on for the Intercontinental Championship, which I think is great. But we need to do something with this U.S. title because it's just been chilling, doing nothing.
Yeah, it's true, and it's
No.
Andrade is kind of like he's a great person to have the title, but it is kind of strange where like he has that belt and then like Garza is just kind of doing his thing and like Theory's not there anymore. Like we were all kind of saying, Humberto, like maybe that's where it's heading is like Andrade, retains against Apollo, and maybe Garza and Humberto form a tag team and go after those titles. I'd really like to see that, and I'd also like to see Andrade challenge Drew McIntyre for the heavyweight title. I know they wrestled recently, but they had an incredible NXT title match a year.
Yes, they did.
So I'd be happy with that too.
Yes, like I said, I just feel like they really need to. I'm just happy to see these matches like happening that are not like just over and over repetition. Something.
Yeah.
Like something. It's like sometimes they can come full cycle. Even if we've seen the match before, if you give it enough time, like I'm okay with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Nia Jax crashes Asuka's championship celebration. Okay.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
So that was all within the same.
Yeah.
Like the same thing. Aleister Black and Murphy. This one went to a no contest, right? I think I watched this.
Yeah. Aleister Black came out and attacked Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, and Austin Theory came out and all that. They wound up beating down Aleister.
Yeah, they whooped on him.
It was pretty funny though. I do remember seeing at one point Aleister Black was on top of Austin Theory, punching him on the ground.
Yeah. And
Buddy Murphy ran at him with a flying knee and
yes.
completely whiffed to the point where Aleister didn't even sell it because I think he legitimately didn't even know Murphy had gone for it because he missed by so much. So he was just on top of him, fighting him, and Murphy just whiffs this kick. Just it was awful. And I'm a fan of Murphy. I'm a fan of Aleister. I'm a fan of all these guys. It's just it was a big whiff.
Major botch.
Yeah.
I know, and what's funny is it wasn't live, so they could have done it again, right?
Yeah, I guess they could have.
They could have not shown that.
Yeah.
They could have edited that out.
That's so true. It's hilarious.
It's so funny.
Edge accepts Orton's Backlash challenge.
This was good. Obviously, you put Edge and you put Randy Orton in a ring with a microphone. I'm gonna listen. It was really good. The only thing I think is kind of corny is they keep going, this is gonna be the best wrestling match of all time. Wrestling match, okay. I'm really interested to see it. It's gonna be a Backlash. I think it'll be great. I think, if any two people can put on a good match that's a wrestling match, it's gonna be these guys. They just cut killer promos every single time. Knock it out of the park. You can feel the passion in just even the way that their nonverbal communication is portrayed is just unreal. They're just able to emphasize it enough for television to where it's still believable, but it's more noticeable. It's just absolutely fantastic the way they talk, how passionate they are. It just feels so real. That's not to knock on a lot of the promos now in WWE, but I mean, some of them, let's be real, are not that good.
I'll say it. The vast majority of them are they're almost all bad, to be honest.
It's like almost all of them. There's a sense of their inability to take themselves seriously, and at least here, it feels like they're taking this very seriously.
Yeah, and it's two guys that there's bullet points, and I'm sure that they're being given some sort of script, but it's also at the end of the day, it's Edge and Randy Orton, and there's got to be that trust there too from the company where you let the guys say what they want to get it because they both know what they're doing. So, that's probably where some of that comes from. Also, like it's in what I just said. Most of it's really bad. That usually isn't because of the performer. Usually, it's because they're reading something that doesn't really fit them well, or they can't deliver the same way that they would be able to deliver something that they really just went out there and said themselves.
Yeah.
For a big part of AEW for me, like you can tell that they're not.
Yes, the creative control.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a clear, obvious difference. But yeah, I mean that's good stuff. I'm looking forward to the match, and it's still cool to see Edge back, and Orton is he's a reliable opponent for Edge too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then Drew McIntyre and King Corbin for the main event. I watched this as well. I mean, it was pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. Like Corbin lost, McIntyre still looking good as champion, and Kick's still looking good. They're really putting over. They're really putting over how often McIntyre kicks out at 1.
Austin McIntyre?
Huh?
You say Austin McIntyre?
No, I said they're putting over.
Oh, okay.
They're really putting over how often.
Oh, okay.
How often McIntyre kicks out at 1. Like
yes.
Which why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do something for me with McIntyre. He has the look. He's good enough on the microphone. He's good enough in the ring. He checks pretty much all the boxes.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so I'm okay with those kind of little things they're doing with him. Like he's kind of the guy where oh, you think he's down and out? The motherfucker kicks out at 1.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Me too. I'm really cool with that.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
I had a question too, because I'm thinking about the McIntyre King Corbin. It's like the cross brand.
Oh yeah.
On SmackDown, is that a non-title match between Charlotte and Bayley?
I think it's non-title. I would assume it's non-title.
That's what I'm assuming as well.
I can't imagine they would put both titles on the line like that on a Friday night SmackDown.
No, I'm with you. I think that'd be a long shot as well. I just didn't know if they had announced that or not.
Oh my God, sorry. I was looking at a tweet and Shad's wife tweeted from his account, and I was so confused for a second. Sorry, but yeah, sorry. Anyways, continue. I was gonna look up and see if it was title for title, but I can't imagine unless they want to get the ratings up.
Yeah, I can't see it being title for title.
It can't be.
I
feel like they would promote that. We would know.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the brand-to-brand thing?
I mean, I'm not a fan of it at all, but I understand it if they can't get enough people there because of the pandemic. I understand the potential need to do something like that, but to be honest though, it's hard for me to believe they don't have enough people on each brand that are showing up. I think that they're just trying to so in WWE's outdated, backwards, weird ass heads, they actually think, this is just my opinion, they actually think that somebody out there, maybe there's somebody out there in the world, but they think if we put out commercials promoting Raw versus SmackDown, battle of brand supremacy, people are gonna tune in because they're gonna want to see what's better, Raw or SmackDown. Nobody gives a fuck about.
Not anymore.
Supremacy.
You know why? Because they haven't built up either brand as an independent force
in years. I mean, they were talking about it during. That was one of the few things I watched with the volume on last night.
Yeah.
The main event was McIntyre and Corbin, and during the match, the commentators are like, King Corbin's here to represent SmackDown, and he's doing it for brand pride. And I'm like, why the fuck would Baron Corbin care about SmackDown brand?
Right? I don't.
like brand versus brand. It's we all know it's all WWE, and they have overlapped the brands so often that like it isn't a special thing to see a Raw versus SmackDown match happen. It happens all the fucking time.
All the time.
And even when it isn't Raw versus SmackDown, it overlaps enough to where like those two people were on Raw together 6 months ago, and now they're on different brands, and we're seeing the same match anyways. It's like, I don't care.
I don't care either. I just don't. It's like you haven't built up. They haven't really built up a Raw versus SmackDown. There hasn't been any like smack talk.
Yeah.
You know,
talking smack.
There hasn't been like at least put on commentary. Wow, I don't think the SmackDown people could do this, or you know, whatever. Like start kind of building that feud. But it's like, okay, good for them. Cool.
Yeah.
Like I want it to feel like WWE versus AEW. I don't want it to feel like an interim scrimmage. You know, it's like boring.
Yeah, and the only way they can do that would be have two completely separate rosters who do not overlap at all for years.
Separate brand pay-per-views and everything.
Yeah, that's the only way to make it even remotely an important thing when the brand versus brand stuff happens. That's the only. And the WWE's not going to do that. There's no way they're gonna stick to something like that. And it's just, even the original draft, like back in like 2003 or whatever, like that original draft, even, I mean, they did a better job back then, but even then there were like trades and people like appearing on other shows and stuff, like even of that, like the WWE's never done a great job of like the best thing that they've ever done when it came to these brand splits was at the beginning of when they did the original one, and SmackDown had Guerrero, both Guerreros, Ray, Edge, Benoit, and Angle. You had 6 guys, and they were building new stars with that group of guys, and they all basically went on to become world champions.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's like I don't know what happened. Like, I was trying to think about that the other day. Sorry if I disappear for a second. It's my daughter's trying to log into Disney Plus. Like, what happened? When did WWE just turn to, like, this half-assed kind of booking, this 50-50 booking? Like, did it work before? Like, what happened to building up baby faces and building up heels and making feuds feel like something to care about? What happened?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a singular answer for that. I'd imagine a big part of it is Vince McMahon's age.
Yeah.
Just becoming less and less connected to what the current fan base wants.
That's true. That's probably it.
When I've said it before, and I don't even really mean this as a diss, I just think this is actually what's happened, is he has 3 granddaughters now. I mean, like, he's writing the show for little girls. It's a PG show for little girls. It's not, he doesn't even want the words wrestling on the show. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's like, and I'm glad that girls are being included.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of female fans now that weren't fans back then. But I think that's also where a lot of the disconnect for me is, to be brutally honest, is a lot of the time I'll look at like my Twitter timeline, and a lot of these, I mean, not just girls, the girls are actually the majority usually. It's not always, guys as well. Like, I'll look on my timeline and it's like people praising all this stuff they're watching on TV for the WWE, and I'm like, there's no, like, and once again, it doesn't matter how long you've watched wrestling. Like, if you're a fan, you're a fan. But, like, I'm looking at a lot of these tweets, and I'm like, there's no way you could have been watching this back in the 90s, and, like, maybe even the early 2000s. You have to be a pretty new fan, because what you're a fan of is completely different than what I'm a fan of. Like,
right.
What I'm a fan of was what it used to look like, and a lot of what AEW currently looks like is what I'm a fan of. And it's clear based on what they're doing, like letting the wrestlers have their matches, you know, like that they can actually go out there and have entertaining matches without all these restrictions, and cut promos without all these restrictions, and all this stuff that they're able to do.
Yep.
And so it still exists in wrestling, but the WWE has just become such like a PG. They're so concerned about like Mattel making their toys and making sure their relationships with the Saudi Arabian government is good, and it's like they're just concerned about making money. Money, 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 money. We don't care what the fan base is. We don't care if we're losing our longtime fans. As long as the money keeps coming in, we don't care if the ratings are going down. As long as the money keeps coming in.
Right? That's all they care about now.
Yeah, and that's, it just is what it is.
It's unfortunate. I feel like there's a therapy out there called ACT therapy. It's values therapy. It's based on living your life according to your values. Hold on a second. I don't want to get caught. I'm trying to get her to turn down her music. But it's basically living your life and moving on with your life according to your values. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I feel like WWE has like lost their way. Like when you're making decisions in life, basically the therapy says you kind of go, does this align with my values? Does this align with what I believe in? And it's like WWE just kind of like, well, now I believe in money and like Vince impressing his grandkids. Like, but is that really what you founded your company on and your core beliefs as a company? I don't think so.
Right. Well, and, a lot of like what I'm saying and stuff too is like, I mean, you could listen to somebody like Brian Alvarez or even like Jim Cornette or Dave Meltzer, or I mean, there's like, and those are three very, very different people, the three of them. Like they come, like, I mean, Meltzer and Alvarez are kind of like in the same kind of group, but like Cornette's like way over here and like Meltzer's way over here, and I'm kind of somewhere in the middle of that, and like there's, not to compare myself to them, but just like the concept is when you listen to those people too, like we're all basically saying the same thing. Like we're
same thing, same kind of
like
general
the same
thing, yeah.
The same matches that we think suck. Like we all agree on, like the same matches that think we're good. We all agree on that Money in the Bank match. I thought that whole thing was dumb as fuck, and
oh, I know.
And I was looking through my timeline, and I was told you I was getting text messages from people, direct texts about this is the greatest thing I've ever watched, and this match is awesome, and this is what I want to see in wrestling. But then you listen to like me or Alvarez or what I just mentioned, and the list goes on and on with people who have watched wrestling for a long time. The longtime fans see that stuff, and they're like, not all of them, I'm speaking, but generally speaking, we're all watching this stuff like, holy shit, this isn't professional wrestling, like
this isn't what I signed up
for. Sports entertainment. But it's like, but that's where the disconnect is with me and like the quote unquote newer fans, is there are people watching that stuff that are like, this is so good, like fuck anybody who doesn't like this. All wrestling is good wrestling. Wrestling's for everybody. And it's like,
why are you hating, man?
Yeah. You know what? Wrestling is for everybody.
It's for everybody,
and it's whatever they want on the screen. You can put whatever they want on the screen. But I have the right as well, as a longtime wrestling fan who grew up on Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels and Randy Savage and Bret Hart and Steve Austin and Edge and Christian, and I grew up on those guys. What they were doing was a completely fucking different form of art than what we're seeing on WWE TV right now. Totally different fucking thing.
Completely different.
The promos were fucking different. The way the show was shot was different. The storylines were different. The in-ring action was different. Even the way the performers looked was different. It is a fucking different thing. So, once again, people can like it all. You can like this.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you like it. But if I dislike it, don't think that I'm just some fucking jaded asshole who like hates everything about wrestling. That's not the fact. That's not the case, because I'll watch AEW and praise that all fucking day. I'll watch Japan and praise it all fucking day. A lot of Ring of Honor's good. A lot of Impact's good. A lot of stuff on IndependentWrestling.tv is very good as well. It's different, but it's very good. But WWE is the biggest show in town, and they're the worst of all of them, in my opinion. So, that's where I'm at with it,
Yeah, I agree. I feel like It feels almost kind of half-assed, you know? It just feels like they throw something on TV and they're like, whatever, people will still like it. And I think part of it has to do, especially with like a lot of these releases, is kind of coming out that a lot of them didn't have really like a lot of creative control over their own characters. So it feels like these people are being forced to do something that they don't want to do in some of these storylines. And I feel like their opinions aren't being heard, and that, you know, kind of upsets me. And you can feel it. You can that uncomfortableness and that frustration. As much as they try to hide it, you can kind of tell on screen that it's kind of happening. So it's like, I don't know, but you're right. I feel like AEW and I feel like some of the other ones, they really let their talent kind of utilize their own creative control over their characters, because I feel like while I don't really think that they should have complete creative control, because in the end of the day, it is a TV show and they need to make money and they need to do what's best to stay on television and to put butts in the seats, and to kind of make it all come together as one. But at the same time, you can't completely make up a character for someone when they don't think or believe that they can do that, or believe that they can put that together, because then it just kind of all jumbles together. And, you know, you can put a bunch of fruits together and make a fruit salad, but you can't put a bunch of like inanimate objects in there and call it a salad. You can't throw a bunch of like Tic Tacs and thumbtacks and chocolate eggs and then, you know, some chalk and call it a salad. That's a really weird, obscure reference, but putting a bunch of stuff together and presenting it as one thing is not, it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't. Everything kind of has to come together. Everything kind of has to make sense. Everything needs to look good and be presented well. Like, Gordon Ramsay, presentation is a key to, you know, a part of a meal experience. And I'm not getting a meal experience with WWE. I'm getting a to-go order from KFC.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just trying to make
no,
sense.
I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, and Gal, you know, he said the show's written for the stock market now, not entertainment. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, it's it sucks too, because like you mentioning that they, you know, they get basically rebranded or get a new name, and they have these people all writing for them and stuff. Like, there's so much on that, because it's like the whole reason. I shouldn't say the whole reason, but when it comes to independent wrestlers, not your like everyday like athlete. No, I shouldn't say everyday. Not like your super athlete, like the football players that the WWE signs and then trains from scratch, and like those kind of people, like your Braun Strowmans who weren't wrestling indies, but like were athletes and trained them to be wrestlers.
Yes,
that's a different category of people than who I'm talking about. Those are athletes who were basically recruited how you would recruit a college athlete out of high school or something.
Yeah.
But the rest of them who had careers on the independents, the whole reason the WWE has hired them is because they've built a name for themselves on the indies with a character they created, with promos they were cutting, with matches they were having. They've built their brand to the point where they're successful enough without the WWE in a lot of cases, pretty good living, and then they sign with the WWE, and then the WWE just changes that. Well, I mean,
changes their name too.
Well, that's for copyright reasons, and I get why they do it. I don't like it, but I get why WWE does that. But it's for the same kind of almost like greedy, selfish reasons as like, you know, like when you look at all this stuff, you could also say like they, with like the 50-50 booking, right? Which can control, they can control your popularity essentially. Like,
yes, very well.
And like every now and then, once in a blue moon, you get a Rock or a John Cena type guy who, or a Hulk Hogan, Austin guy. I mean, we've only had a handful of them in history ever. But every now and then, you get somebody who becomes as big as the brand, or bigger. I think The Rock, I think the name The Rock is probably as big or bigger than WWE, right?
Yeah.
The WWE, I don't think, wants that. I think the WWE wants, every now and then, they want mainstream exposure. And that's why they have their people go into movies and TV shows and do interviews on talk radio or like Ellen or wherever they're at. They want that mainstream presence, but I think they're terrified of elevating anybody. That's why you see all the 50-50 booking. That's why you see everybody staying on the same fucking level. And even the people that are on the higher level, like your Undertakers, Brock Lesnar's, John Cena's, certain other people. Well, John Cena's a bad example because he actually is like a really big mainstream name now. But there's a small group of people that's kind of above it. For the most part, it's a whole roster of 50-50 booking. And once again, the difference between that and AEW, which is a product that I enjoy. I'm fine that there's people on AEW that have records that are like 0-12 for the year. Or like or somebody who hasn't lost all year, or somebody who's got a mixed bag of wins and losses and stuff. Like, that's how you fucking elevate people. Like, I want to see Cody Rhodes with a good record. Like, Cody Rhodes beat the mid-card guy with an 8 record or whatever. Like, because, guess what? That's how you build stars, and then once you have stars, then these people benefit from it because, okay, these people are established. These are your fucking superstars. And guess what? Let's say you got 5 fucking superstars, top guys, mainstream talents, and one of them goes down with an injury, or one of them has to do something different. When that next level, when you're fucking Sammy Guevara or your Jungle Boy or whatever, that's their fucking chance to get up there. And then when they're there, it's a big fucking deal. And then you
it gets people behind them.
And exactly. And it makes it a big deal once they break through to the next level. But they can't break through to the next level if that next level doesn't fucking exist. And that next level just doesn't fucking exist in the WWE. Unless you've been just handpicked. Unless you're in the last 10 years, unless you're Roman Reigns. That no one like plucked up to be like, no matter what happens, no matter what the crowd reaction is, no matter how good the matches are, we are going to continue to push you as our guy. That was the same as John Cena. Same kind of concept. They got like their one fucking guy. And after that, it's all 50-50. Everyone's on the same fucking level. And nobody gets over.
Nobody gets over. And it's frustrating. And people get frustrated and then they get mad. And then it's bad for the other talent because the other talent that they're fighting is frustrated too because they're getting booed and they're like, why am I getting booed? It's because you're winning over this guy that everyone loves, and because of WWE's 50-50 booking, they're frustrated. And it's just a lose-lose situation, Yeah,
well, you even see it with like, here's like a perfect example of like the right way of doing it. With AEW, you have Shawn Spears, who's basically a jobber to the bigger names, right? Like, he doesn't win any big matches. He's been in some big matches, but he always loses. He's been established, in my opinion, as basically a gatekeeper / jobber of AEW. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do a great job with it. Because when he's not wrestling a top-level guy, he's wrestling squash matches against jobbers, and he's beating those people. Because
exactly. It's believable.
So it establishes Shawn Spears deserves to be here. He's still a wrestler.
Yes.
He beats all these other guys. But he has trouble against the Codys in the MJF. Well, that's bad as him, probably not MJF. Oh, if they were both heel versus babyface or whatever. But you have like your MJFs, your Codys, your fucking Darby Allins, and your Archers, and your Kennys, and you have all that. So Shawn Spears, he's not there, but he's here. But he's better than these guys.
Absolutely.
He still deserves a spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all makes sense.
It's like when you, like in the Olympics, you see these Olympians and they're out there falling and on the beam and stuff, and you're like, well, why is this person in the Olympics? Well, they made the Olympic team. He made the team. He's just not very good. He needs to do better. He can't he's on the squad, but he can't make the Super Bowl.
Right. It's like he's on like JV almost, where it's like a lot of people you see on like AEW Dark. Like, they be on the show.
You need to earn your letter.
Right. You got to earn your letter. And in Shawn Spears, like, technically speaking, he's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. Like, there's nothing wrong with him as a performer. It's just that's his role on the show right now. And if he keeps beating the guys below him, like, that's great. And then guess what? Because I could, if he wins enough, even if it is against top guys, if he wins enough, and then the next time he wrestles a Cody or a Darby Allin, whoever it is, there's still the slight believability in my head of like, you know what? The last time Shawn Spears wrestled this dude, he got owned. But since then, he's won like 10 matches. So like,
Yeah, he's feeling good.
yeah. So so if he pulled off the big upset, it's not. It's like actually like, oh, okay, like maybe they're elevating Shawn Spears now.
Right.
Whereas we have the WWE, and you have a situation from years ago like Jinder Mahal, who was a career jobber, lost every fucking match he had, never did anything that fucking mattered. Terrible performance, terrible in the ring, not good.
Yeah.
Just the product of steroid abuse, right? And this guy went from job, suck, no one cares, to world champion.
Champ.
Nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. The only thing he had going
frustrating.
for him was that they opened the fucking network in India, and they wanted him to be the face of it. That was the only fucking reason he got that championship belt, and the WWE did nothing to build him. Had Jinder Mahal won like 10 matches against like mid-card guys, maybe upper mid-card guys, and then won the
Slow build. Yeah.
then I would have been okay with it. But they didn't do any of that. They just went from jobber to champion because the fucking title doesn't matter. It's a fucking prop. Who cares? Just give it to this guy.
Yeah, that was, oh god, that felt like a fever dream, didn't it?
Well, I feel bad for Jinder Mahal because like none of it is his fault. Like
No, not at all. No,
Like,
it's the booking. It's the booking.
yeah, it's not. I mean, he's the best wrestler he can be.
Yes,
He's
absolutely.
good. Like but it isn't his fault that they were like, you're always gonna lose. Oh, by the way, here's the title. Like he didn't
Right.
make any of those choices, but it's like it was similar to the JBL thing. They built JBL
Yeah.
better, but it was similar. It's like taking these guys who have just been jobbing
Shouldn't-
this whole time.
Yeah.
But with AEW, the way that they book, it's at least believable. With like if Shawn Spears won 10 more matches against lower card guys and then won the TNT title from either Cody or Archer, like I would be totally fine with it because he's on
Yeah.
a streak or whatever. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting like worked up over it because it's like so frustrating.
No, it's frustrating as a fan because what you want as a fan is to see the best product possible for something you enjoy. I mean, just like when you have a friend or a family member with something you care about, you want to see them do well. It's kind of like that. WWE has kind of become a part of my family. I want to see them do well. I don't want to see them, completely half-ass things. It's frustrating. It's like, come on, I know you can do better. I've seen better. I've seen it with my own eyes, my own experiences. I've seen you do better. Come on, what's happening? It's like we need an intervention.
Well, that's the thing, is like the WWE has one of, if not the absolute best, from top to bottom, roster of talent of any company in the world. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are featured, like Seth Rollins obviously is featured, but like, if you were to watch a Seth Rollins match from 2020, but then go back and watch, him versus Davey Richards in Ring of Honor before he signed with WWE, you'd be like, holy fuck, I did not even
Yeah.
realize Seth Rollins was this good. I had no, like, you knew he was amazing, but then you'd be like, but he's this fucking good? Like, you
Tyler Black was.
yeah, Tyler Black was the man. Kevin Steen was the man. El Generico was the
Oh man, I
Bryan Danielson
know.
was the man. All these guys were so, like, they're so talented. And
They are.
some of them, like I've said, some of them have had good careers in the WWE, so I can't knock all of it. But, like, most of the people I'm talking about on the other end of it, the people that are just getting 50-50 booked or jobbed out, are also people that are, I mean, Chris Hero. Like, they had him for years and didn't do anything with him.
Right.
This guy's a god on the indie scene. You can't,
Right.
can't figure out something to do with him on Raw or SmackDown? Like,
It's wild.
yeah. Well, anyway. That's how I feel about all that.
Yeah. Oh, Scarlett just wants me to she's like, are you done?
Yeah. Well, we can wrap it up. Since there really wasn't hardly anything to talk about today anyway.
I know that was a good passionate speech. I really appreciate it. Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
they do have a 74-year-old man booking the show. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's like probably the biggest issue. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's also like, how do you tell God like he doesn't have it anymore? Like Vince McMahon created basically sports entertainment. Like he created modern day professional wrestling and the business model and the whole deal. And his storylines were incredibly successful for a long time. And now it's time for somebody, Triple H, Stephanie, Shane,
a group of people, even, yeah.
I mean, somebody's got to the conversation has to happen. Like you will. I mean, you might as well call the WWE a religion. Like it's the same concept as
really, yeah,
cult of religion. You know what I mean? It really is. Like this guy is like the creator of this whole world that we're so,
That's so wild to think about.
And so it's like, so on one hand, it's like, how do you tell that guy he doesn't know what's good for his own world anymore? That's tough.
Yeah.
But someone has to do it because you see everything else around it, and it doesn't.
There's red flags.
It doesn't mean that Vince has to like die or like disappear.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
He can still be involved. It's just the final say shouldn't be him anymore. The final say should be like Triple H or Shane or Stephanie or somebody who's just way more connected to what the current modern day fan is looking for. So,
yeah, completely.
Chat if you want to read it.
Oh, we did? I don't see it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh, wow. Gal, thank you. Yay. Oh my gosh, thank you, Gal. $10. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. What would your wrestling name be? Well, okay, so when I would play WWE 2K16, I think the one with Brock Lesnar on the cover. Which one was that?
I can't remember. They've all blended together.
It was. I would do Jesse Columbus, because Columbus is where Ohio State is. It'd probably be Jesse Buckeye. It'll probably just be Jesse Buckeye. What would yours be?
Honestly, I know this sounds like a non-answer because, I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. I've never really put that much thought into a ring name, mainly because I think, just the name Jensen, my last name, maybe just that, because nobody else has used it. I've never heard of a wrestler called Jensen.
It's true.
Before. So, I just call myself Jensen. Like Cody.
I like it.
Jensen. I don't know.
Jensen. I love it.
Myself the Prodigy on my trampoline federation years ago.
Yes.
So we all had multiple characters.
Prodigy Jensen.
The Prodigy. Well, no, I wouldn't do that anymore. Now I'd be like the old guy getting into it. I'd be like DDP's age, getting into fucking wrestling. But yeah, I don't know. But since I didn't have a great answer for you, Gel, I will say, as far as theme songs, I thought about that. So not many people know this, and I don't know the date yet, but I'm probably going to be doing a charity fight later this year or early next year for a boxing. And so I've been thinking about that as far as what ring song do I want to use? And it sounds kind of strange, but I really, especially because of how I'm kind of being a charity and stuff, I've been thinking about using the Joe Cocker version of A Little Help from My Friends, the Wonder Years.
Oh, yes.
With that sweet guitar riff at the beginning.
Yes.
So I think that'd be a pretty cool walkout song. So I'm thinking about using that.
Gail said his would be Off in Church. Get off in church. That was funny. I think it's a joke, right? That's funny.
I think so.
I think it's funny.
I know it's because you would say I beat off in church.
Because no one beats off in church. Ah! Yes. Yes. Yes, good. I love it. That's hilarious. I haven't thought about a song. I haven't thought about it. I guess
I thought about a few. When I was younger. Huh?
I like yours.
Yeah, I think it'd be a cool one, especially because I'd have friends there and stuff. My brother was the one who trained me and whatnot. But I when I was younger, I really when I did the trampoline stuff and whatnot. I was basically, so we had multiple characters. So one of my characters came out to Voodoo Child of Jimi Hendrix.
Nice.
It was basically a Hulk Hogan type character. And then when I was a prodigy, I used the Executioners. It was like a song with the Executioners in Linkin Park. I can't remember the name.
Ooh.
But Amazing Red wound up using it on the Indies later on,
No
which was
way.
awesome because it was a great song for the time. The times have changed a lot since then.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard to use like new metal or something now. Although maybe like Limp Bizkit, there's like some Limp Bizkit I can still get down on.
And new metal is, well, it's new core now.
Mm.
It's not really new metal because new metal is, I would call it new core now.
Gotcha. I've also thought about like, there was also trampoline wrestling. I used 311's Creatures.
Nice.
And I've thought about, I really like, it's totally different than all the others, but I don't know if you ever heard LSD by A$AP Rocky.
No.
Love, Sex, Dreams. It doesn't really fit fighting too much, but it's a song that like I listen to a lot when I'm just like chilling, and I think it's fun. Like if I was walking out to the ring, like it'd be a cool vibe like for a while.
Yes.
I thought about all that kind of stuff.
Last Minute of Peace of Mind from Boston would be my theme song. Cool. Cool.
It's a good one.
I know. I'm trying to think, like, maybe Feuer frei by Rammstein. That would be pretty cool, but that would be the movie Triple X.
Yeah.
Because I love Rammstein. That's my favorite band.
Du hast mich.
Du hast mich gefragt, du hast mich gefragt, du hast mich gefragt und ich habe nichts gesagt. Yes, I love that song. What's a good one? Reise, Reise is a really good one from them. Or like Shoot It Out by 10 Years would be good. There's an instrumental song that's just a sweet guitar song that's called Light of Day by The Autumn Offering. That's pretty dope. Love that one. I could just see myself walking out of WrestleMania, walking out doing my entrance while playing the guitar with that. Sweet solo, do a flip off the top rope while I'm playing. Be dope.
Yeah.
Oh, Five Finger Death Punch's version of Bad Company. Dude, their new song, A Little Bit Off, from their new album is really good. Their new album's actually really good. I know a lot of people like to hate on Five Finger Death Punch, but I actually really like them. My favorite song from them is Walk Away. Walk Away that would be a good ring song. Walk Away is my favorite. It's one of my favorite songs. Really good.
I gotta look that up. I'm sure I've heard it. I just can't think about it.
What the hell? My phone just died.
A band that I would have loved to use their music, but I can't support them at all anymore for like obvious reasons if you followed them. But
Trapped?
No, I mean their music's just outdated now, right? They did anything.
Who is it?
Huh?
Who is it?
Lost Prophets.
Oh.
The lead singer.
Mm-hmm.
Literally sexually assaulting like babies. Like
oh my god, that shit made me puke.
The worst fucking thing you did.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That band was awesome.
Like, I'm getting chills. I know.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And I had to like delete all their shit off. Like I can't even like keep.
Yeah, you can't.
And stuff.
When you find that shit out, you're like, I can't.
Can't even.
Can't even.
I listened to that band probably more than anything in college. Me and my friends listened to that stuff all the time when we were hanging out.
That's so.
I just read something like fairly recently. I can't even remember the lead singer's name, and it's probably a good thing that I can't.
Yeah, I don't want to remember.
But he, he's like serving like 30 whatever years in jail, and he like within like the last year or two, he got like more time, like he got like extended like his jail time.
Good.
Because they found that he had been hiding a cell phone up his ass.
Oh my god.
And was soliciting minors from jail. Like he was trying to get nudes from like underage girls through a phone he was hiding in his ass. So like he's not even like those are the kind of people where it's like I'm not
just put him to death.
Right. That's where I'm going with that. Like I am not sympathizing with this guy in any fucking way, shape, or form. I need to make that incredibly clear. But there are situations where someone might do something really fucked up, and then like they realize it was fucked up, and then they serve
Yeah.
penalty for it being fucked up, and then they get help, and then like they come back into society, and maybe they're like normal fucking ass people who fucking paid the fucking price for what they dealt with, and they fucking like that's. I'm not saying this particular case is that. I'm just saying like if I went out and fucking robbed a store, and then like I fucking.
It's called the Department of Corrections.
Wow, that was a fucking
It's called the Department of Corrections. They're supposed to correct.
Right, but my thing is like, like let's just use that example. Let's say I rob a bank with a gun. Like I have a gun and I rob a bank and like scare everybody in there and take the money and get caught, and then I get sentenced to jail for 20 years, and it's like, what's the one fucking thing you don't do when you get right out of jail? You don't go fucking rob another bank.
Yeah.
Like this guy is in jail for that, doing that in jail. Like
that's so disgusting.
So when that happens,
clearly cannot be saved.
Take him out back, and just
put him in a pasture.
Because there's no teaching that person or getting help for that person at that point. You know that's you have fucked beyond recognition, and didn't even get life in jail over it. Like you know,
that person's clearly a threat to society.
Right, and it's just reinforced when, like, if you're still doing that same stuff while
in prison,
the fucking punishment, like, yeah, that's, but, you know, that's all to say, like, I was a humongous fucking fan of that band.
Yeah.
And I can't even, it's almost like watching a Chris Benoit wrestling match, you know, it's like, you can't even feel good about yourself watching it, you know, just knowing what happened and stuff, like.
Nope.
But. Yeah. Crazy. Because I didn't even know about the Lost Profits thing until years later either.
Really?
Yeah,
I read about that a long time ago. I
somehow missed it all. Like, I was hanging out with my buddies from college like a year ago. And
you just found out about it?
Yeah, it was like a year ago. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, hey, y'all, like, you know, blast from the past. And like, I like started, you know, blasting Lost Profits or whatever. And one of my buddies was like, dude, like, do you not know what happened? And I was like, to who? Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you probably shouldn't play this. And I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, we were both like huge pieces of shit all the time. And he was like, no, like, you need to like Google. I said like the dude's name. He's like, I don't even want to talk about it. He's like, just look what happened. And I was like, holy fuck. Like, I had no clue.
Man.
I think part of that too was like I know they were big in the US, but I'm sure it was like a huge story. I think like the UK, it was probably like a huge story over there. Gel, yeah, I'm with you. It's the same kind of thing. I'd say the same kind of thing about like a terrorist who gets caught or something. Like they're all on the same level for me. If you're repeatedly, I mean, even just one time is bad enough, but like if you're repeatedly doing these kind of things, like the sympathy's gone. Sorry, like something about, or you just have to serve life in jail and like have someone check your ass every day and make sure you don't have a fucking phone up. But I don't fucking know.
Right? My God, that has to not be good. Not that I care about this guy's health, but
yeah, I know. We're over here like, man, I wonder how huge that guy's asshole is. All right, well, this is probably a good time to start wrapping it up then. Very much, Gel, for sending the super chat.
Yes, thank you so much, Gel.
If anyone has any last minute super chats, while I'm reading off about our sponsors, feel free to send those. We will make sure to dive deep on whatever your statement is before we get off the show. But until then, let me tell you about our sponsors. We're going to start with Brian. Let's pull him up on Instagram. All right. Brother Brian.
Yay.
Get this out of the way. So this is my brother Brian. His Instagram handle is BoxingATL. That's BoxingATL. He is a half owner of Steel Boxing and Athletics out of Atlanta, Georgia. Small gym out here. He coaches boxers from all levels, whether they're just people like myself, just like getting in shape, maybe doing some charity fights, stuff like that, or professional fighters. He's cornered pros. He knows his stuff, but he can help you with self-defense, getting in better shape, competing, whatever it is. But anyway, this is just a little example of This is inside of his gym. He's hitting pads with one of his dudes there. He can help you outside. This is him, in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Clients who didn't feel safe going to the gym because of the pandemic. They wanted to stay outside, so he helped them out outside. That also goes for people, through webcams. This is what some of the people from his Parkinson's class.
So great.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff that he's doing. So he can help you in person or online. Just hit him up on Instagram. Once again, that's BoxingATL. Send him a message. Just say something about me and Jessi. Just say, hey, Steven and Jessi's show. Just make an indication that we sent you over there. And I guarantee you, he gives you a really, really, really good deal on some sessions. So thank you to Brian for being a part of the show. Also, WrestleRumble.com. They still have not announced their next contest, but I know what it is, and I told Jessi about it.
Yes.
And it is an insane raffle they're going to be doing. So I know it's going to be one of those. I don't want to give away the details because I've been basically told to let them make the announcement, which I want them to make the announcement themselves. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's going to be a raffle. And it is going to be something where the prize and or prizes are going to be very, 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 very good prizes. Worth a lot of money. And if you're a collector, especially of different stuff, memorabilia-wise, this is something you definitely want to be on the lookout for when the contest drops. So the best way to know when all this stuff is going on is to follow Wrestle Rumble on Twitter, and their handle is @WrestleRumble. Very simple. So thank you once again to Wrestle Rumble for being a part of the show. And lastly, I want to thank Heroes and Legends. Heroes and Legends is a professional wrestling company that has memorabilia and autographs and action figures, and I buy a whole lot of stuff from them, and they send me a lot of stuff to give away for the show and all this good stuff. And they're really nice people. They do good business, fair business. They do live auctions on Facebook fairly often. So make sure to follow them on all social media and do some of the auctions, or just, a lot of the time they just put up stuff on their social media just saying, hey, we have this whole lot of these type of figures and they're this much. If you want them, DM me and they'll send them to you. And, they do a lot of their business over PayPal. Super, super easy to deal with them. Very nice people, like I said. Very fair business. Make sure to follow them on all social media @HL Pro Wrestling. And that's the best way to stay up to date with all their stuff. So that's everything I've got. And of course, make sure to follow me on Twitter
I was going to say.
FIGHTTLK_. Jessi, what do you got?
Well, the best way to contact me, obviously, during wrestling is on Twitter @Jessi the Buckeye, JSSITHEBUCKEYE. But I also do have an OnlyFans. That's the best way to, if you want to DM me and you want me to read it, I'm going to read it. I'm going to talk with you. I'm going to chat with you. We're going to talk, have fun, do whatever. So that's OnlyFans, ONLYFANS.com/Jessi the Buckeye, JESSITHEBUCKEYE. Best place to get in contact with me. I'm going to be answering DMs right after this. So if you want to chat with me, go on and head over there. Got some really cool stuff up there, and I've got some new clothes coming tomorrow, hopefully, to show people there, so that's cool. And then I do have a Papa John's pizza code. It's JESSI25, and that gets you 25% off your online order, and you can use it up to 100 times per household, per email address, till the end of the year. So Papa Bless, get your sody pops, a click of the mouse, and Papa's in the house. There it is, boom, right there. Beautiful. Can't wait to watch that H3H3 vid after this. It's going to be epic. And thank you so much to the chat. You guys are great. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We read them. We appreciate everything you guys have to say. We appreciate you coming in here and joining us. We have a lot of fun doing this, and we hope you do too. And that's all I have.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe to Jessi's channel. That way you'll be notified when we go live. I said it earlier, the thumbs up, the likes for the videos help the algorithm a lot. It helps more wrestling fans find the show and helps kind of grow our little community of wrestling fans here. So the subscriptions, the likes, very much appreciated. And you can hear there's kids playing outside, so this is like a perfect time to stop.
Yes, perfect.
Wow, they're being loud. What are they doing? Oh, they're rollerblading over wood. That's what it is.
Ah.
That's loud. Can't remember what else I was going to talk about. I think it was just going to be make sure to subscribe. Oh, and also another reason to follow us on Twitter is because these shows, they're pretty sporadic. I talk about that all the time. Like today's show, obviously like 22:30 isn't a time we've really started before, but
Yeah.
our circumstances, that was the only time we could really get started today. So sometimes it's around that time, sometimes it's more around like 11 a.m. Eastern. I mean, so that's why you want to subscribe, that's why you want to be following us, because until we get on like a set schedule, which may never, honestly, it may never happen.
Yeah.
It really, a lot of this is dependent on the true of our lives, as well as like the relevant news in wrestling. So like, you know, there could be situations where a big news story drops and we are both available and we both just jump on here live, and the only way you would know we were live is by either following both of us on Twitter or being subscribed to YouTube, because there's no other way you could have possibly known that we were even going to be doing a show at that time. So that's important, and of course those things are totally free and it takes like no time for y'all to do, so very much appreciated. And that's all I've got.
That's all I've got too.
Awesome. Thank you all very much for joining the chat. We will be back. I don't know when. What's today? Tuesday?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be back on like Thursday or like Saturday.
Yeah, Thursday might be good.
We have
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. So let's do predictions for Double or Nothing.
Okay, what
let's shoot for like Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see us turn into a cranky old man. Damn kids making all that racket. No, that's not true. To be fair, I have my windows open, so when I close my windows, I won't even hear it. But I'm glad that there's kids playing outside.
Yes.
To be honest, like it doesn't bother me. I like seeing kids that they're, you know, when I was growing up, that's what we did. We played, you know, baseball in the street with a tennis ball and stuff. Like I like seeing that kind of stuff. So I have no problem. But it is funny. They call it is funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably be back on like Thursday or Friday then in that case to do predictions for Double or Nothing. But yeah, just stay tuned. We'll be back.
All right. Bye.